Good afternoon to everyone. Well, today I will be discussing what I learned from the previous Act 205 class, and I will be discussing two major topics. One has to do with the CSS Syntax structure and that of the combinators. Well, the first thing we have to understand, what does the word CSS stands for? We say CSS stands for cascading style sheet, and it's used to control the presentation, the layout, the design and appearance of HTML document. We say CSS consists of two main rules. That is, CSS has two main rules. One has to do with the selectors, and the second one has to do with the decoration block. And we said the selectors specify the HTML document to which the style will be applied, while the decoration blocks contain one or more decoration that defines the style. And we said CSS selectors are used to target HTML element, and we will also be discussing some of those selectors. One has to do with the class selector. We talk about the universal selector. We talk about the descendant selector. We also talk about the attribute selector. And we said the class selectors target element within a specific class, and it's denoted by a dot. That is a dot sign. Dot sign. Class selectors target element within a specific class, and it is denoted by a dot sign. And we said the ID selectors. The ID selectors target an element within a specific ID, and is also denoted by a hash sign. ID selectors target element within a specific ID, and it is denoted by a hash sign. Then we'll talk about the universal selectors. Universal selectors target all elements. That is, the universal selectors, as it is called, target all elements within the HTML document. We also talk about the descendant selectors. We said the descendant selectors target element inside a specific parent element. And we also talk about the attribute selectors. And we said the attribute selectors target element with a specific attribute. We also talk about the CSS properties. You know, we said that there are many properties that can be applied to element in CSS. But here are the common ones. We have the color. That is to set the text color. We have the background color. That is to set the background color of an element. We have the front side. And the front side design the size of the text. That is the size of the text. And we have the margin. The margin creates space around an element. We also talk about the padding. That is the padding. The padding creates space inside an element. That is between the context and the border. Between the context and the border. That dives into comments. We say comments in CSS are used to define the relationship between selectors. Comments define the relationship between selectors, allowing you to target elements based on their position relative to other elements in the HTML document. They help refine which element a rule will apply to based on their structure in the document. We also discuss the type of combinators, and we said one has to do with the descendant combinator, And we said the descendant combinator is a space. That means it selects all elements that are nested inside a specific element, regardless of their depth in the hierarchy. We also talk about the adjacent sibling combinators. They select an element that is immediately preceded by a specific element. It's only applied to the first sibling of that follow. I come again. The adjacent sibling combinator, they said it selects an element that is immediately preceded by a specific element. It only applies to the first sibling that follows the element. We also talk about the general sibling combinators. We said the general sibling combinators select all elements that are sibling of a specific element, not just the first one. The selected element must appear after the specific element in the document. We also talk about the universal combinators. We said the universal selectors can be used in combination with combinators to target all the elements within a specific content. We also talk about the group selectors. The group selectors, although technically not a combinator, but this group selector is often used in combination with other selectors to apply the same style to multiple elements.